going on there, everybody? I hope you're having a good one. And the newest DLC character to 2XKO has been released earlier today, and this is Warwick. So these characters are all from the League of Legends, basically, franchise, right? And Warwick is one of the more aggressive rushdown characters in that franchise and is through all the different versions of the game for that. So he is now a DLC character in 2XKO, and let's take a look at the video that was just released today, and then we're going to go into his history.
No escape. We hunt.
Teeth to lose, Wolf.
We have access in early access now to Warwick, but and he's free to play. Or with some of the DLC characters, you have to then unlock them and pay a little, extra and everything to get them. But the game initially is free, so which is a very cool thing there. Trying to pull up something real quick also. There we go. I just thought of something as we were going through this here. Oh, I remember it now. There it is. I gotta write it down. Okay, so let's go and take a look at the beginning of this again. Okay, so here we go. So this is Warwick. There are many different origin stories for him. He was originally a man, okay? And he was a leader. And basically, there's a couple of different versions of what had happened to him as the game has progressed. So the first story is that he wanted to increase his strength. So he drank a potion and turned into a werewolf. The second story is that he ended up being cursed by somebody and he turned into a werewolf. And then the third is he was hunting down a healer called Soraka, and the healer had the final ingredient to the potion that he was creating to increase his strength, and he ended up not getting the ingredient, and he drinks the potion that is just not mixed properly. He turns into a werewolf, And then he's basically hunting her down now endlessly. Those were all of the previous stories for Warwick. In Arcane, which is has a lot of ties into 2XKO, he is a leader, and he adopted Jinx and Vi, which are in here. No. Okay, Jinx. And Vi. And basically, he tried to hold the peace and run and be a leader the best that he possibly could, but then he was betrayed and he was captured. When he was captured, there was a large explosion and he was seriously injured. A scientist then went and had grabbed him and ended up running all of these experiments all over his body. And that is where you see all these tubes and everything here. The experiments were chemically done and had made changes to his DNA and used other DNA, like monster DNA. And it transformed him into a werewolf. Now, in this state, when he transformed over, he lost all of his memories, except when he's around his daughters, which is Vi and Jinx, and when he smells blood, he gets his memories back. So, what we can see from him, from the gameplay, it seems that he's a full screen, high momentum rushdown character. And that he's got some good range, and his moves are advancing moves, which have him constantly going forward, and a mix-up heavy. He has access to a BloodLust meter. So this is activation. And there you go. So that's activation right there. And when the meter is ready to be utilized, it has enough resources, then you can activate it and unleashes new moves, cancelable ability out of moves that you did not have the ability to cancel from before. You can extend your combos and have additional combo routes and branches and strings. In my opinion, the little guy that looks like a chipmunk, he's a wolf also, supposedly. His name is Timo. I think that if Warwick was teamed with Timo, that would be a really good team, because Timo lays traps everywhere all the time. And the key is that you can lay your traps down, you can have all your mushrooms down, you can he can then basically disappear in the grass, and he can travel underground and be extremely elusive. And while he's doing that, and that makes people frustrated, and it slows down the pace of the game, and he has projectiles too, like darts and things. When that happens, then that's when you can tag in your partner, and then you have your partner that plays the exact opposite, and he's heavy rush down, he changes the momentum, and is very, very aggressive. So I think that would be an interesting, whoops, no captions there. No. An interesting change. Here he is. Right there. And that's the key. Right here. are all these little mushrooms and things, all these obstacles. And you set them up, you frustrate everybody, you can set them up, disappear off the screen, do a hard tag, and then put Warwick in and have him deal with the rushdown. Yeah, pretty cool. Pretty cool there. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. Justin, thank you so much. So yeah, so that's a lot to look forward to and everything for Warwick. This type of character here, well, in general, just, like the werewolf type of character, we've seen a lot in previous games and everything, possibly the first time, and the name I was looking for was Bloody Roar. I'm trying to think if Bloody Roar came first or Darkstalkers, but we'd have to pull it up real quick to see. Let me see. Bloody Roar, oh, okay, yeah, definitely Darkstalkers. Bloody Roar came out in 1997, so Darkstalkers. And really wouldn't even be Darkstalkers date, it would be Vampire Slayer. Yeah, 1994, Darkstalkers, Night Warriors, yeah. Oh, it's Night Warriors in 94. That's it. Vampire Savior. That's it in 97. Not Slayer, Savior. Okay, so that was out in 97. So 1994. So then, yeah, that would be that. Yeah, and then Killer Instinct is also in 1994 in the arcades. So Darkstalkers and KI both in 1994, 1997 was Bloody Roar. Yeah, very interesting there. Very interesting. And I mean, this type of character is very, very popular, so people, from what I've seen online, looked like they were very excited. And he looks really neat, so I'm sure that he'll do really well. Well, actually, I mean, there was in Spider-Man there was a werewolf, and he ended up becoming a werewolf from a stone on the moon, and it was J. Jonah Jameson's son. And I'm trying to remember his name in the man. You gotta look that up too. Wait a second. I'm just thinking of all this stuff now. Was it just the Wolfman? The funny thing was this. In the first Spider-Man movie that Raimi made, where John Jameson Man-Wolf, I think is what they called him. Man-Wolf, that's it, yeah. When Mary Jane was invited to the party that J. Jonah Jameson was having and the Green Goblin came in and basically blew it up, right? It was his son coming back from space. It was the sun coming back from the moon. And then he would have had the stone with him to turn into Man-Wolf, right? So that would have been a really cool branch into that storyline. But they ended up going with Hobgoblin, Green Goblin, Hobgoblin, and Dr. Octopus instead. I like Dr. I like the whole franchise is good. But long story short, we would have seen Man-Wolf also as a character in that Spider-Man universe, but they went in a different direction. But they had it lined up. And that was another figure that was sort of built, and then I bet these figures were also sort of based upon, and then of course, you know, the history of all that. But he looks great. You know, he looks great. I think a lot to offer there, rushdown and everything. The key with characters like this is that it just depends then upon what is the damage, what's the startup, you know, and then what is his health going to be. And then that's when you start to wonder, how do they balance it? No escape. Yeah, see, he had a little wall jump there.
Like a lot of teeth to lose, Wolf.
Yeah, so he's available. He's available now, and anybody can try him out basically in the early access beta. But as time is going on, it's going to be open for everybody, so they will have everyone to be able to access all of this. And then of course the core roster that they have there, you can play and choose characters as much as you wish, and then the DLC, and then additional DLC costumes and things like that, then you start to pay towards, is how they would do it. So yeah, it's an interesting model for sure. And a lot of people are excited and looking into it there. So yeah, Man-Wolf, that's right. Yes, yeah, that's right. And I know, that's what I was thinking. And then I got on a tangent. I said, wait a minute here. I was like, he was in the first Spider-Man movie. You know? Interesting, right? Yeah, John Talbane, you know, a little bit there. Yeah, you know, and the thing is a lot of these characters have, you know, which is fair. It's completely fair. Overlapping characteristics, and a lot of it's because you're trying to make a character that's very agile and that's built like a person, right, but agile like an animal, has animal like qualities, right? So then that's when you get a lot of the leaps and the swiping and the biting, and you know, and then for John it'd be sort of like the Blanca balls and everything too, you know. Yeah, all kinds of cool stuff like that. But yeah, lots of options there and everything. Yeah. Does anybody have anything that they'd like to add to the Warwick video here? Nope. All right. Okay, everybody. Well, this was very good. Yeah, I think he's going to do very well. And especially if you have a player that's very quick on their feet when it comes to pressuring and knowing when it's safe to apply the pressure and have setups and things like that, he'll do very well with them. So very good there. Okay, so I hope you guys had a wonderful time with Warwick here for 2XKO, and I will see you guys all later. Bye.